Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. This one is about finding out what Fylgja is all about. Hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, Gothic Witch here. This week I thought I would do one. I had a request from one of my subscribers that she would like to know more about the Fylgja and what it is. Well, I thought it would be good to start off with a thought of the day. When you feel inside your raw energy, how do you feel? That is the inner you, that is the part of you that isn't seen but is there. A lot of people know of the old time witches in medieval times that had a familiar. That was either within them or outside them. So the Fylgja is similar, but it's something that is ancestral, that has been brought down from your family line. So each person in that family would have a Fylgja. And that Fylgja wouldn't be their choice, it would be what's come down through your family line. Now the Fylgja is an entity in its own right, but it is with you for the whole of your life. Now, some of these Fylgja, when you die, do carry on, and they will go into the next generation and be with them. It's quite an interesting subject. Now, I did a video a little while back where I was shamanically bringing that energy to the forefront, letting it become there rather than me as I am now. The Fylgja can be used in many ways. It is there as a protector, it is there as a guide, it's there in all different manners, but it is your inner being. It is within you as well as without you, if that makes sense. So for example, you would do a pathworking and allow your Fylgja to go on a journey instead of you going on the journey, but you can see through your Fylgja's eyes. So if it was a wolf, it would run through the woods, it would howl, and you would feel that emotion and you would see it in your mind's eye. A Fylgja is company also. When you work alone as a shamanic witch, it is part of you and it comes to you in your dreams. It warns you of things and it helps you and takes you on journeys in your path workings. When you drum and you go into a trance, your Fylgja will be there. It is not something that a shaman will subdue, it is something that we will let rise to the surface. It can be used for the good of many, for it is you as well as itself. It says that if a Fylgja dies, then the person it belongs to will also die. It is a merging of two entities together, but in a good way. When you do a lovely meditation to find out who your Fylgja is, sometimes people are very surprised that they expect it to be something like a lion or something beautiful like a horse, and sometimes it can be something like a little frog or a spider. It can be anything, and you may not actually relate to it, but it is there, and it is what that energy inside you is, real you inside. So in your craft you can use your Fylgja in many ways. As a shaman, I would drum and let it rise to the surface, and as it does, you get given visions and pictures, and if there's anything it wants you to know, you will know it. To journey with your Fylgja is an amazing thing, and for those that live in England and countries like that, to think of it more as a familiar, you'd understand more, because the witches of old would always have a familiar. They would always seek a familiar. So you would always get, and you get pictures nowadays of films of witches with cats. You can have a real life attachment, you know, in the physical. I know, for example, with my own dog, my greyhound, beautiful, and when I do ritual, if he's in the room, he'll just settle on down and he'll enjoy the energy. Not all animals do that, so a lot of witches would say, oh, that's my familiar, but a real familiar is a Fylgja. It is something that is attached to you within, and it is within you as well as outside. So sometimes you may get a vision of your Fylgja when there's something, maybe a warning coming about something. You may say, for example, you have a bird that flies. You may be out and something's going to happen, and that bird will show you it's there, and you will just know. It will stop and it will stare at you, and you will just know within, that's my Fylgja, but it's using its energy in a physical form to warn me of something. And then if you want to know the Fylgja within you, you can ask for it to come in your dreams, or you can actually physically drum and sit round a fire and let yourself go onto your shamanic journey, and your Fylgja will be with you. There have been many times I sit upon my bird. It changes. Sometimes it looks like a raven, sometimes an eagle, sometimes, but it's always a bird with beautiful feathers, and I sit upon it, and you can feel it, you can touch it, you can, it's like it's really there, and you can, there's no mistaking it. So when you journey and it takes you on a flight, you can feel the warmth of its body, you can feel its heartbeat, you can sense how it's feeling, and it feels you and can sense what you're feeling. It is a marvellous thing, but it is something that you have to be able to get in touch with your inner you, to be able to let loose and let it go. As I say, there is a video on here where I let go and let it come to the surface, and sometimes it's hard to put it away but it's always with you, and it's not a guide. You know, some people say, is it actually a guide? Is it actually something to do with guiding, like in the spiritual realms? It's not a guide because it's with you, it's part of you, and it's mystical, it's different. It's something, it's not even a totem, it's not even like what the Red Indians, when they used to have a totem pole with animals on. That is a different form of being. That is, a totem is more that they see an animal and it is the spirit, and they see that as a separate entity. It's not part of them, it is a totem which they can go to and ask help, but a Fylgja is joined to you at birth, and it is with you all your life, and it is an amazing thing to have. Now I thought before we go, because it's not a topic that you can really go into in depth, you can look into it in a way of meditation and sometimes out of body experience, but doing a path working is mainly the best way. Now, I thought it might be nice for you guys, if you don't know who your Fylgja is, to have a meditation or a path working. And so if you'd like to close your eyes and take some deep breaths, we'll go into a proper path working. So as you hear the drums, you start to feel like you are drifting into that drum beat. It's like a heartbeat. See yourself shrinking and relaxing, and as you relax, all your cares will disappear. Start to feel your limbs going very heavy. Start to feel that you're in a warm place. Now, when you feel you're in that place, start to think about your soul. Go within to that tiny light in the middle of your being. See it in your mind's eye as this little pinprick of light. Have you got that? As you see the pinprick of light, you notice that there is like a shadow of the same light just behind it. As you see both the lights, you see them grow. And as they grow, you see the lights change into many different colours, like a rainbow. This is your aura. Now, on the side of the aura, you will see a shape. It is merged with your aura, but it is definitely not you. It is there in a very protective way. Now, you might start to see the shape of this being. You might start to see that it's not just a shadow. Now, I want you to expand that light. And as you expand that light, you see yourself in a wooded glade. It is a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Everything is vibrant. In front of you is a stone circle. You just know that you need to be inside of this circle. As you go into the circle, there are 2 seats made out of stone, pure white. So you sit on one. Now I want you to think and welcome the being that you saw attached to your aura. Welcome the being that is there. He is now taking form. He's taking a physical form that you will be able to relate to. Go deep within yourself, giving out that welcoming to this creature, telling them you're ready to know. In the seat in front of you, you start to see a shape forming, and you feel really excited inside for you're going to finally know who your Fylgja is. Allow it to form. Don't add a thought of what it is you want it to be. Allow it to form and distance yourself mentally so that it can become. For it is hidden within you most of the time. So as you watch, a creature now appears before you. You say, welcome, Fylgja, welcome. I am so pleased to meet you at last. Thank you for being my Fylgja. Thank you for the years that I didn't know you existed, that you protected me and warned me and helped me. Oh Fylgja, can we become friends? Can we talk to each other and be with each other? Will you visit me in my dreams? Will you help me on my pathworkings? Will you show me yourself in the physical form when there are things I need to know? Now wait for your answer. It may come in different ways. You may see it as an object, you may see it as nothing. You might just get a feeling, or you might hear its voice in your head and your heart. At this point, your Fylgja holds your hand and comes close. You can feel its fur or its skin, its warmth of its body, and you know it's real. It is not a fabrication of your mind. It is there. Its strength shocks you because you didn't expect that feeling. But that protection feeling also you can feel within. As you hold your Fylgja and your Fylgja snuggles into you, you can feel that connection, that you have always known them, that they have always been there. But now you know who it is, what it is, and you know that this is the start of a journey together. He will probably, or she will probably, come to you in your dreams to start with. So when you wake up, jot down what you see or hear or feel. Your Fylgja wants you to know that it's real and that it's been with your ancestors. So it knows all the knowledge of your ancestors. Can you imagine? As you hug your Fylgja, you don't want to let go. But in your mind a thought comes, I am with you always. I am just a thought away. And he starts to fade, or she starts to fade now before your eyes. And you feel sad. You've only just got to meet them. But you know now, because you feel an extra part of you within, and you feel that warmth that you felt and that joy of reunion. So now you get up from the chair and you come through the circle of stones and you find yourself back in your home. And when you're ready, open your eyes, shake your fingers and your toes, stretch, find yourself back in this reality. And as soon as you can, have something to eat or drink. Your Fylgja is not just an imaginary thing. It's the real deal. It's a real thing. It's a part of you, but it's also an entity on its own. So give a thought to it. When you're in ritual, call upon it. When you do shamanic drumming, you will realise that to allow it to come to the surface in your ritual in that way is very, very powerful and very strong. And you will get urges of whatever the creature is, you will get the urge of that creature. So if it's a wolf, you might want to howl. If it's a bird, you might want to make screeching noises. You know, all different animals make different noises, but you will feel it within, in your gut, and you will know, that's my Fylgja, and I'm proud to be part of it with this creature. That it is the inner me, it is the foundation. The reason I was given that particular Fylgja is because it relates to my soul urge, my primitive urge, my urge that was from my ancestors back to the year dot. And that is something to really hold on to, my friends. I'm going to leave it there because there's not a lot more I can tell you, really, about the Fylgja. Just remember the difference, that it is not a totem and it is not a familiar, really. It is something that is actually attached to you. So on that note, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to wish you, wherever you are, whatever time, day or night or evening, a wonderful day. House of the Lane.